Hello, I'm Lise Colucci, one of the life coaches at queenbeing.com, where we help you to discover, understand, and overcome narcissistic abuse and toxic relationships. Hello, Karina and Christy and whoever else is here today, and welcome. I gotta get rid of this bright light. Hang on 1 second. There we go. Okay, so today we're going to talk about supply. What is it? What is supply? What are we talking about when we say the word supply? How does the narcissist... Hey, Erica. How does a narcissist gain our supply? What do they need it for? What is all that? Okay. So, and it's going to be a brief one today. So if anyone has anything that they need to talk about or want to talk about, feel free to start asking your own questions about any topic in chat today. We're going to do an abbreviated live stream, and I'll be back tomorrow with a longer one. So hi, Paula and Erica and Katrina and Krista Jean. All right. So supply, what is supply? Somebody asked, what is it? Supply is any attention that the narcissist receives. It's any, what we call getting attention to when it's given to them, it is supply. Oh, I didn't do my spiel. Let's backtrack. If you've not hit subscribe, hit subscribe. If you want to hit the thumbs up, it's appreciated. Otherwise, if you need information on the serious side, if you need information or any help with toxic relationships, narcissistic abuse, head over to queenbeing.com and check it out. All the information's over there. You're probably already over there, but head over there anyway. If you need coaching help, you can find me over there. Everything is in the main description of every video as well. And if you want group coaching information, it's in the main description as well. If you want notification of my going live, text me 33222 and put the word Lise live, Liselive, and hit send, and I will send you a text prior to going live. Okay, back to the topic. So supply. Supply is any attention. They receive it in the form of fuel for their ego. They receive it they receive anything that is going toward them from other people, meaning attention, focus, anger, resentment, happiness, joy, love, all of it. They receive it as a way to reinforce the delusion of the mask that they live under. So it fuels their ego is basically another way of wording it, that you're supplying a source to fuel their ego. It's more than that though, because they're actually grabbing onto your life energy, right? You know what it feels like when you've been with one long enough and how challenging it is on your energy, right? So that's because you're giving supply, you're not sharing in an exchange. Everything with a narcissist is transactional. So everything is give and take, literally, not back and forth, like you give, they take. And if you're going to get anything, it's because you've given something. So they will be nice to you for a few minutes because you've given them a source of supply that they've been wanting. All right. So who else is here? Butterfly Mama and Fancy. Hello. Let's see. So I hope that answers exactly what it means to the question. It's any attention, any attention. It can be in the form of, well, it can even be as small as a flying monkey getting some information for the narcissist gives the narcissist supply. Okay, even at an energetic level, we feel it because if our focus is going toward them and they know it in any way, shape, or form, meaning if we peek at their Facebook page, if we're fretting about them, if we're worried about the narcissist, thinking about them all the time, if there's any way at all that they have access to knowing that you're thinking that, or if they assume you're thinking that, they're gaining supply off of you. So it's all supply. Any attention, any focus, anything, any interaction is supply. Hello, Jeannie. How are you? And Jonna, hello. You guys are all here today. Yay. How does making someone miserable equal supply? Was asked. Well, because all attention is supply. So the energy that they gain from the argument, from the ability to devalue you, when they devalue you and they're upset with you, making you miserable, whatever you want to call it, knocking you down, they are putting you in a position that is beneath them, which is a form of supply, right? Because they have control. So supply is about power. Supply is about control. Supply is I want my new YouTube name to be Fancy Sprinkles. You can be as Fancy Sprinkles too, or you can be some other Twinkle Sprinkles. I don't know. Let's see. So supply, for me, supply would be being around happy, positive people, they said. Something lifting of your spirits. Well, but you see, that does lift a narcissist's spirits, because if they have you in a position beneath them, then they have control, which is a form of fuel, right? Having control and power over someone, who lives through their ego like that, is a form of, is lifting their spirits, so to speak. It's not lifting their spirits in a joyful, happy, light way. It's the dark, sadistic, controlling side of them that it is giving. It's giving them power. So if they feel power, they're gaining it through supply. Everything is supply. Sex is supply. Conversation is supply. You're ignoring them. Every interaction around them is giving them something. It's giving them fuel. That's why no contact is important. This is the area where no contact is important for Twinkle Sprinkles. So no contact is not only important for you to be able to get away and break the trauma bonds, but it also is a form of cutting off of supply. And when you see what happens to a narcissist who suddenly loses their supply, they kind of implode. They kind of fall to pieces. So it's very obvious that they need it. It's like life force to them, because they're stealing yours. All right. What are we saying here? He sucks the joy out of everything. Yes, they do. And yeah, okay. All right. So Jeannie is saying, is it possible that narcissists are empowered knowing that they affect us so much that we're going no contact, blocking them, and are willing to cut off our mutual friends? They may feel, they're going to feel power anyway, because they have delusions of grandeur, right? That's one of the diagnostic traits of a narcissistic personality disordered person. It doesn't always look like puffed up ego. Sometimes it's the sneaky little devious ways in which they take power and control over people. But they all feel better than others. They all pretend to be better than others, right? The mask that they wear and the ego that they have says that people are beneath them. Inside, most of them don't feel that way, most likely. But you'll never see the accountability for that, and then in the healing of that, because they don't have empathy. So they don't work to be part of a connected anything. It's just about them. So yes, they probably do get some form of supply from anything, meaning even the no contact. But once they have no contact, they're not getting continuous supply from you. So while that may be the one nagging thing, I can remember him saying, just being really mad that his ex-wife was so crazy that she wouldn't talk to him. Like, she was just that crazy. And if he saw her somewhere, it was like, oh my gosh, she's so crazy because she won't talk to me. And so he was getting supply in those moments, but it was kind of like secondary supply or something, where it's like fueling off his own imagination about the thing. She wasn't giving him anything, right? So it wasn't draining her. So yes, supply is supply, negative supply. Eye contact. Wait, I'm going to go back here. I'm going to go back, and then I'll go forward. Okay. Did they get supply from anyone and everyone around them? Yes. Yes, they do. I think some people more than others. I think sometimes it's benign and it's not draining, but I don't think that they interact as a form of connection to other people. They interact to take what's from the world around them and bring it in only. There's no reciprocal anything. Right. So yeah, it's all supply. Mostly you would probably call it that when it is personal and it's draining somebody else. Right. Christine is asking eye contact, or saying eye contact, a smile from a stranger, half of it's in their heads anyway. Oh, heck yeah, because everyone wants them. Sorry. Negative supply is more potent than positive. Yes, it is. It is. It's absolutely controlling. Think about the power someone has if they can make you feel so small and yet you stay, and beg them to lift you back up again. That's some serious fairy tale, like horrible, wicked king or queen power, right? That's wicked, and it's dark, and that's what they do. So, and it's powerful. So yes, negative supply is extremely potent. Hi, Anastasia. Watching from the beginning, double time. Okay. All right. It's a short one today. We're just talking about supply. Somebody asked about supply. Anything you guys have going on today? I'm only going to be here a short time. So if you have anything you want to talk about, let's do it. And if not, then I'll just keep going. I don't know what else to say about supply. What else is there to say about supply? How do you feel about yourself knowing that that's what you are to them? How does that make a person feel? When, you know, people hate that word. There are people in survivor communities who just absolutely can't stand that word because it makes them feel so bad about themselves, and it makes them feel like, I'm not supply. I never gave it on, you know. But we're not saying you are supply. What we're saying is the narcissist sees you as supply. And if you don't see it that way, if you don't start seeing it that way, you get confused, and the cognitive dissonance kicks in, and you start thinking, well, it's only sometimes, it's only when they're devaluing me, or it's only when they're this. No, it's always. And it should feel gross. Okay. It shouldn't feel good. It should feel, not that we're trying to shame you by calling it supply, we're shaming each other, but it should not feel good to hear that word, because it's a terrible position to be in. And if it makes you mad, then use that anger in the right direction to get away and stay away and not give any more of it. What are we saying here? He says, exactly what's happening to me right now, says Crystal. He is making a huge deal because I'm not communicating. Huge email yesterday threatening to stop putting money into joint accounts because I'm not asking him first. Can't wait for oh my gosh, right? Yeah. Okay. Is the negative supply the reason they get your reaction and then smirk? Oh yeah. Yeah. Any communication, any interaction, the more heated, the better is supply. Heated in either direction. The more you feel, I'm really yelling, sorry. I have an earache and I can't hear out of it very well. The more you feel agitated, the more you feel anxious, the more emotion you have, the more supply they're getting. So you can look at it, you can think of it like that. Like they're literally pulling that energy out of you. They're like energy vampires. And this is what the supply is it's the sucking of the energy out of you into them. And they feed off it, and it boosts their ego. It's really hard to imagine why you would do that to someone, but this is how they fuel the ego behind the mask, or that is the mask, right? Without supply, there'd be no mask, because there'd be no one to play off of. There'd be no one to put on a show for, and there'd be no energy coming back at them because of the mask they're wearing. So this is why they tend to implode when there's no supply around. They don't know who they are. They lay around and curl up in balls and can't, I mean, we do too when we're sad, but they're not sad. They just don't know who they are. They do crazy things, and they get erratic a lot of times when the supply is low. I've seen it. All right. I felt objectified like a piece of property, and you were, and sad as that is to say out loud. Yep. We have to accept it, because we can't go back there. And we have to know that we are not a piece of property, and we're worth, I don't even want to say we're worth more. It's obvious we're worth more. We are worth amazing things, not that. Okay. So I think feeling that, as bad as it feels to feel it when you hear the word, I was supply. That's all I was supply. Makes me feel kind of sick. Like I ate a bunch of fast food and then ran around or something. I don't know. It doesn't make me feel very good, but yeah. It's just so awful. I realize I'm giving off negative supply. I'm gray rocking at 50%, which is actually winning on my part. Yes, Katrina, it's try not to get, okay. So let's look at letting go of our reaction to ourself when we're still around them, and letting go of the shame, guilt, and how we're feeling awful toward ourselves. It's normal to feel awful when you realize that you're giving someone supply. You know what I mean? It's normal. It would be unusual to not feel terrible about that. However, you got to remember, you are trauma bonded. You are stuck for whatever reason in the situation that you're in right now. You can find your way out. It just hasn't happened yet. Your time has not arrived for escape from this, and you are working toward it. This is your aim, right? And if it is, right? And if you sit and you feel awful and you're giving supply over at the 50% level there, where's your energy going? It's all going toward the narcissist, the negativity, the negative parts of the relationship, things like that, instead of feeling awful and saying, okay, I'm worth more, and looking towards your worth. Look towards your worth. You're putting energy toward the positive and not fueling the negative inside you as well. So it's kind of important to use a lot of self-care there and internal thought and intent around how you think about yourself when you realize, especially when you're still with them. That's how we get out. Because if you keep yourself feeling awful, then you don't feel worthy of even us getting away from it, even though your brain wants you to, right? So, Crystal Jean, we are only supply. It took me a while to really get that. That's why they're able to do such hurtful, from our perspective, things, and we're only one of many at all times until we cut them off completely. We, the primary supply, got it the worst because we thought we were building a future. I was kept a thing, a solid backup supply. That's all. Yep. And remember that everyone in their life is supply, not that you need to feel empathy and remorse and sadness and whatever for, or not remorse, but you know what I mean, empathy and kindness or whatever toward new supply or other supply. But remember, they're being used too. Everyone's being used. It's a horrible situation where nobody's right? Because the situation itself is wrong. And we're all victims of it when we're in their grips. So it's awful. Yeah. I knew he was who denied it was me who denied. Oh, he knew who he was. It was me who denied who he was. And that's, yeah, because we're taught okay, Grace, that's a really good point. They twist things so much that they can tell you point blank that they know who they are. But by the time they've done that, you're already covering up for them. Your whole life has been spent creating ways to justify their behavior, because toxic relationships like that teach you that you have to protect the abuser. Right? So totally normal that it's you that was denying who he was. Totally normal. And that's part of that. It's like a haze, right? It's like, I think of the Sleeping Beauty story, and I don't picture her actually asleep. I picture her in this world, in this haze where everything is unreal. And that's what it feels like. You're just in this sleep, this hazy, unreal sleep where you're protecting someone who is toxic to you. You don't tell anyone what's actually going on. And because if you did, by the time you did, it would make you look crazy, right? The way it works. So you know what I'm talking about. Katrina's saying it's enraging and I have to keep my cool, especially if I realize it's happening when it's happening. I have previously responded. Okay, so here's my gray rock tip that I have for you, Katrina. Take a breath, okay? When you see it coming, when you know it's happening and you're in it and you feel it happening, you see it happening and you're starting to get enraged, take a breath. Hear yourself saying to yourself, this doesn't matter. This is whatever, gaslighting. This is projecting. Don't say it out loud. Don't engage with it. Just watch it. Watch it happening. He or she is gaslighting. Right now, they are gaslighting me. What is the proper response to gaslighting? It's no response. Do you argue with gaslighting? No. Watch anyone else Watch a movie where someone's being gaslighted, or listen to stories of gaslighting. I so want to do a video where it's like examples of gaslighting back and forth, like real life play acting of gaslighting. So you can see Grey Rock in action. Should do it, right? I need someone to do it with me. We can take turns being the toxic person. I'm bad at the gaslighting, but I can figure it out. I can script it. Anyway, so in your head, the fog of oppression. Yeah. In your head, understand what's happening. In your head, watch what's happening. Take a breath inside yourself. Tell yourself, it doesn't matter anyway. I know the truth. I know the truth. I'm going to Grey Rock this. It doesn't matter what they're saying, because what they're saying is nonsense. And I know the truth. Nobody gets to take my truth. When you give away information during a gaslighting attack, or during a projecting, or during anything where you're needing to Grey Rock, when you engage with it, you're giving away your truth, because they will steal that truth. They will flip the script and throw it back at you in a form of gaslighting that is so fast it makes your head spin, and you've lost your truth again. So when you find your truth, when you know exactly what happened, what's going on, how it's going on, why it's going on, keep it to yourself. Don't share it. That's Grey Rocking. Don't share it. Keep it in. Tell yourself you know the truth. When you're done, step away, process it, okay? Write it down, tell a friend, journal it, whatever you need to do. Don't like hold it in forever. But it's not something that it's not something to talk about. It's not an argument. It's not a debate. There's nothing. There's no reason to engage with a narcissist at all. All it is supply. That's it. It's all they're after is supply. I can remember watching it thinking, this is really fascinating, watching how this person is fueling a situation to gain supply. I could see it happening. Oh my gosh, he's in that mood where he needs to feel bad. Why? Here we go. He needs to feel bad. So now I got to be the source, got to project all his mommy crap onto me, and I got to be the source of bad mom or whatever, and I got to feed it back to him, so that he can feel bad, and then he can knock me down and then build me back up after I've begged him. You can watch it happening. It's insanity. And it makes your head, like, the more you watch it, the crazier you feel, the crazier it seems. But you gotta get out of it, first of all. While you're in it, Grey Rock it. The best way I could find to do it was what I just described. It helped me tremendously to separate needing to be heard, my needs. You're never going to get your needs met with this person, ever. Okay? Find somewhere else to get your needs met in a healthy way. Friends, therapists, coaches. We'll meet your needs and hear you. Okay? We'll meet you where you're at. We'll listen to you, and we'll validate you and hear you and give you kindness and whatever you need in that situation that's appropriate for the relationship. But it's never, ever going to come from the narcissist. So let that go. And focus on not feeding them your precious energy as supply. All right. Question off the subject, but how do I stop dreaming about him? Oh, I like dreams. Okay. Thanks for my thorough response. Oh, you're welcome. Okay. All right. How do you stop dreaming? Every single night I've listened to sleep meditation. Okay. Stop fighting it. Stop fighting it. Write those dreams down. If you were in group, I'd be like, what are your dreams? Tell me your dreams. And I'd be helping you analyze your dreams, because I love that stuff. But I can't do that here really. But look them up. Look up the dream symbols. Stop looking at the dreams as signs of anything about the narcissist. Stop looking at it as trauma. It might be, okay? It might be PTSD flashbacks. It could be all those things, but it doesn't matter in a certain sense because you're having them, right? So you might as well look it up. What are you dreaming about? Where are you? What colors are in the dream? What objects in the dream? Try to separate from the feeling of the narc. Separate from your feelings of trauma for just a second and look at the symbols of your dream and see what you're dreaming, what you're actually dreaming. I have found more than once, and there are people probably in here right now that who can verify this, because I think it was their dream. I have found more than once that a dream about a narcissist can be extremely empowering. What your subconscious is telling you is, this is the stuff we've been working on. And this is what we're trying to heal. And look how far we've come. And it just depends on what the dreams are. So I say you can't force yourself to dream something. I mean, there may be ways to but your subconscious is trying to heal you. It's trying to help you. It's all the stuff you've pushed into the subconscious to deal with later that's being dealt with the way it's appropriately meant to be dealt with, which is sleeping, right? And dreaming. So try not to fight it, write them down. It may take a little while to feel okay about it. And you know what? They're going to stop. It's not going to be forever. Good and bad. It doesn't matter. Exactly. Look at the dreams symbols. That's what I think. And see what you find. Journal them in the least I told somebody this exact thing. And as soon as they started journaling, they didn't dream anymore. Or they couldn't remember their dreams anymore. It was pretty funny. She's like, well, that worked, but not in the way we thought. So maybe that'll be the magic ticket. I don't know. Yeah, journaling is good. Writing them down, talking them into a tape recorder, voice memo. That's how old I am. Yeah, that kind of thing. It's just your subconscious mind trying to help you process. And another thing would be during the day, make sure you get enough time where you're not thinking about the toxic person so that your influences aren't constantly about narcissism. So if you're reading a bunch of narcissistic abuse recovery books, if you're in a narcissistic abuse recovery forum, if you're in coaching, if you're in therapy, if you're doing and doing and doing and doing, and your whole day is all about processing your healing, make sure you're adding in balance. Okay. Make sure you're getting other influences, other bits of life going on so that you're not flooding your impressions in your mind with narcissism only, because then of course you'll dream about it, right? It's all you got. So try and balance the waking life as much as you can with the learning and the discovery and understanding and overcoming and other things. All right. Find other things. That's why it's important to do that anyway. But all right. Please do the gaslighting examples. I want to. I just got to find somebody that will do it with me. I can't talk to myself back and forth. I would get just far too silly, and it wouldn't be effective. Right? It has to be effective. It has to feel real. So I'll go, oh, when we watch it, right? When I see people gaslighting others on TV, I point it out to my kids. Good. Exactly. Okay. You pointed that exactly. What did I say? The mood coming on. Oh, yeah. Pinpointed. That's okay. I use Dream Mood Dictionary online. It's amazing for analyzing. I've used that. I think I like that. And I like anything Jungian dream because the symbols are a little less telling you what they are and giving you more of a indication of what it could be, if that makes sense. And it's based on many years of study that he did on dreams. So, I mean, that's a whole Jungian analysis. A lot of it is dream analysis. So I try to go to that stuff when I look them up. But what is the cost? The cost for group, we meet. Okay, so I'll talk about groups real quick. We meet once a week in a video chat. We also have a messenger chat that goes on 24/7 on Facebook. That's just a private group, and I come in when I can. And if anyone's having a horrible day, I'm in there with them. And if it's peer support, then it's peer support. It just depends on the moment. It is $60 per month. So that's however many weeks are in the month for my groups. That's what they are. And so it's about 15 a week, depending how many weeks are in the month. And that's it. That's it. I think that's all the info. All right. Let's see. Balance. You're welcome. I need to journal. My heart needs writing, but it's been dampened by prying previous eyes. That's very alliterative. Okay. That have squashed my soul. Oh, look at your alliterations in that. I like your sentence. I got to read that better. My heart needs writing, but it's been dampened by prying previous eyes that have squashed my soul with my writing. Now I collect journals and write. I never write in. Well, start. No time like now, right? Even if all you do is scribble a line or two, start with a gratitude journal, or start with a powerful statement of where you wish to be. Switch around a belief. What belief do you have? I'm not worth anything. What do you want to feel? Empowered. What's that sound like? Give a sentence. What's it feel like? Give a paragraph. Start with that and see what happens. Or make a silly journal. I don't know. Start. Just do it. Unless there's prying eyes, and then do it in a way where you can lock it down, right? Okay. And tell yourself, if there's no one that can pry anymore and you're safe from being ridiculed and spied on and pried and all that, tell yourself you're safe. Open your journal, say I'm safe. Do your writing, close your journal, say I'm safe, and just put it down. You know, rework that belief. Because if you love writing and your soul needs it, then give it to your soul and stop blocking yourself because of fear of what happened in the past. Okay. I think once I sell the house and have a new fresh space of my own, I am going out from his financial thumb. I think of him less, hopefully. I hope so too. Just find the balance. I think my son is about to be home and my dogs are about to bark. So if that happens, I'm just going to end, okay? Because it's going to get loud. I should probably end anyway in just a minute. Anything else you guys have for today? I'll be back tomorrow, hopefully. Any topics you'd like to talk about tomorrow? Hit me up. Let me know, and I will do it. I have a list of stuff, but nothing's screaming at me right now. All right. Anything else? You're welcome, Jeannie. Okay, yeah. All right, you guys. I'll head out then. I hope that was useful, helpful, about supply, about dreams, about all the good stuff. And see you tomorrow. If you have not hit subscribe, hit the button, hit the little button. And if you enjoy this, please hit the thumbs up. If you would like notifications, text me at 33222, put the word Lise Live, LISELIVE, and hit send. And if you need help with anything, queenbeing.com is the place to go. You can find info on coaching over there too. And group coaching is the information's in the main description of every video. So check it out. I think that's it. Okay. I will see you guys. Just listening, a lot happening. Okay. I just write down sayings and ideas here and there, even books I want to read and activities or websites I want to visit. Writing anything is healing. Good. Yeah. I mean, okay. Here's this funny. Where did mine go? It's right here. So I have my lovely journal, right? It started out a lovely journal. It is entirely filled with like page after page of live stream topics, which means if anyone found my journal, they would think, I laugh a little bit because it's like, it doesn't read like a lesson plan. It reads like my own thoughts about this stuff, right? It doesn't read like a teaching. I write down what I'm feeling about it so that I can relate it easily live. And it's funny. I just think, wow, maybe I better have another one for my own sake of have my positive journal too. All right. When does next coaching month start? You can start anytime. What happens if you start in the middle of the month is I just prorate the weeks that you missed into the following month. So it doesn't matter when you start. There isn't with the coaching, sorry, rambling. With the group coaching, there isn't it's not like a class. You're not going to miss anything. Well, you miss something every time because it changes every week. It changes every week. Changes based on who's there, on what your needs are. I base it on your needs, who you are, what you want to talk about for your given amount of time. And we go from there, and then we get a little coaching in, and then the next person goes, and then the next person goes. It's all like little Brady Bunch windows or Hollywood squares. And we talk to each other. Well, I talk to each person. We don't talk all randomly. And then And people get things from each other's stories as well. So that's how it works. So it doesn't really matter when you start because there's no start and finish. It's just an ongoing experience. Okay. Read us a few pages sometimes, please. Mo Cowboy, I read you the pages every time I'm on here. This is where I write down what I'm going to talk about. I just think it's funny to look at it. Well, it's not funny. It's telling how you can, every single day, you can have something to write about this stuff. And it's all different, right? But yeah, I just thought like, wow, if anyone found this, they would really be concerned. I'm okay. I just write it down so I can talk about it. Right. I think that's it. You don't need to journaling to get going. Exactly. You don't need to journal. You don't need to journal. I like that. You can just write. You can even not journal. You can talk into a voice memo thing and do it that way. You don't even have to write if you don't like it. All right. Okay, my friends, have a lovely evening. I'll see you all tomorrow. If anyone has a topic they would like, or if they have anything come up where they have a question before I go live, hit me up in any of the video comments, in the main comments, and I'll try and get to it. See you later. Take care. Bye-bye.